MOMCON, the media nut here with Vito, aka OtterBoy.
Hi.
Please introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what you're about, like what do you do?
My full name is Vito Z. Holmes, but most people call me or know me as OtterBoy, OtterBoy VA, or Otter, whichever way you want to call it. But I am a voice actor, singer slash performer, kind of a writer. I want to try to do more stuff very soon with the writing, but most most of all VA first and foremost. So and most recent notable role that I have attained was the Rambley role from Indigo Park, a little indie horror game. And I am being casted in a upcoming show called Scobula Forest. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, mostly a voice actor. So
So then to start things off, what is the origin of the name OtterBoy? Where did that come from?
It is a kind of a funny story. This was right after I graduated high school and got into college. I'm like, I really want to get my mark on the internet because I've been seeing so many people post like covers. I wanted to get started on like covers and stuff. That's how I got my start, just like covering songs, stuff like that. And I was wanting to find something that just kind of represented me, just like an icon or just like some sort of like OC or something to like represent myself. So I was thinking about stuff, and I always thought I was probably use like something like a dragon or dinosaur, something saurian, because I love anything dinosaur, dragon, kaiju, stuff like that. I've just been such a fan that I wanted to make something like that associated with me. And I was asking my friends like, hey, look, maybe you should do like a dragon or something. But then they said, your face kind of looks like an otter though. And I was just like, I was kind of offended at the time. But the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? This kind of does fit my personality. And I'm like, I could see it. And then I thought, what if you just make the otter purple? And they drew it, and it's stuck ever since. So, like, 10 years now. That's, like, since I came up with the design for the otter. It's just a little, I don't have him. Oh, actually, I do. Actually, there's a little otter here. I don't know if you can see it. But purple otter usually has a little mascot around, colorful, usually yellow with brown spots on it, but like I change it up every so often depending on what like the project is or whatever. But yeah, that's a little origin on how I got the name OtterBoy. So, but yeah.
So you just mentioned your work as Rambley in Indigo Park. So how did you end up like getting the part for that role? What was that experience like? Reporting for it. Yeah, what was that like?
I got word from a friend that they were friends with Mason, and they were saying, it's like, hey, I just wanted to throw this your way, if you wanted to reach out to this person. They're looking for people to voice for their upcoming game. I'm just like, okay, well, I'll shoot. I'll try my shot, because that's all I knew was to audition, and this was back in 2023. And I reached out to them and say, hey, I saw you were needing to have somebody voice your character in this game. And they said, okay, how about I send you this script and let me see what I'm thinking, just like as your audition, and let me see what I think. And she sent me the script, which was, like, I remember the first teaser for the game. That was essentially the first few lines that Rambley has in the game, where it's like, hi there, and welcome to Indigo Park. And he's just talking to the player, and he's interacting with him, and that was essentially the first audition that I had for the character, and it made it into the teaser, because after they saw that, Mason was like, you're in. So after I got that referral and he accepted me, then I was on the project. We started recording, and then Chapter 1 came out in 2024, sorry. And it blew away people's expectations for it being just like a little passion project that was for free on Steam. I don't think anybody could have anticipated how big it would blow up, and this was just the first chapter. So I'm just like it surprised me how far the game has come already, even though it's just been 2 years since it was released. And yeah, it was like the process of like going about auditioning for it was just is all about. I feel like at the end of the day, it was just. It was. I mean, it was. I obviously like my talent and like my effort and like my skills helped in that audition. But I think at the end of the day, just like with any other voice acting role, it's all about the people you know, and also in a sense luck, and just doing your best and just auditioning the best you can. But yeah, that was it was a great experience, just like getting to be accepted on that project. It was, oh my gosh.
With Indigo Park and the way that the game plays and is presented, a lot of people online would kind of compare it to the same style as other notable franchises like Five Nights at Freddy's, Bendy the Ink Machine. How does it feel for you when you take a step back and realize that technically you are part of a very, I'd call, prestigious club of people who are behind the voices of an iconic indie horror mascot? Because that's technically what Rambley is. You are in that same shelf that Freddy and Bendy and a lot of these other characters, Hello Neighbor and such, are. Has that dawned on you, or like, how does that feel?
I don't think it has really dawned on me yet. I keep saying like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy, but like I don't think like it is fully settled in just how much of an impact this game and this character has. Because I honestly wouldn't say that I'm like in this prestigious category of voice actors because it's I don't know. I feel like so many people like are just like they got so much more to offer, but I mean, I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that okay, this is a character that a lot of people like, and a lot of people like really connect to. So like, it's starting to like, it's just beginning to settle in just how big this character is. And there's always moments where I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. But I don't think I truly don't think it is fully set in just how much of uh, of an honor and just how much of an opportunity this has been. Like I'm just like I am treating this like that, but I don't think it is like I fully realize the scope of. I mean, just like the reach that I can make just with this character that I voiced for this little indie horror game. Like it's I never expected that it would be so many people's favorite thing, favorite video game, favorite character, just everything. And it's still getting. I will say it's like it's starting to get easier to manage, but like like sometimes I'm just overwhelmed by like the amount of people who love this property. And yeah, like in a way I feel like I have acclimated to it, but in another way I feel like I haven't. If I'm being real.
So, how would you compare your experience with working with music to your experience working on as a voice actor?
Um. So with music, it's very, like I mean, both are obviously very similar. Just gotta record the thing, edit, maybe like usually with voice acting, they want everything raw. They just like want you to like probably record dead air just to see how like the ambience is and stuff like that. But the same is with music. But I would say the main difference is. I mean, well, firstly, I'd say there's a little bit more live direction with me personally, with directing and instead of singing. But singing occasionally, they would like to. Sometimes I've had live like recorded on a stream, just like so like people can see like well take that back on a call on Discord. We just see how it is and see how we go through it. But most of the time, I'm very I guess this is just a me thing, but I like to record on my own time when I can, and usually I don't. I don't know. I just have to think about like I guess just like the people hearing me when I sing. But then again, I have sung on different recordings before, like when like people needed to have something sung for like a little portion of a dialogue that my character has. So it's like stuff like that is okay. Um, but yeah, no. Usually, a lot of the singing is usually just sent to me. like the file for the backing track is usually something me, and then like lyrics and stuff, and probably somebody singing like for help. Usually they sing like with a placeholder demo, just like to see how it's sung, and then I'll sing it. I'll send it to them, and they'll be like, okay, maybe like change this in here, and then like we can like go forward with the next step. And then with voice acting, it sometimes does go that way, but there's just I prefer a lot more live direction with when it comes to the voice acting aspect. But that's just me.
So, one fun fact that people may not realize about you is your love for the wilderness and such. What does that play any part of the fact that if you think about it, connect that with like wilderness, your love for dinosaurs, your love for like different animals, and now you're playing this iconic like animal character yourself. Like, is that like a funny little like coincidence you notice, or do you think there's some sort of like connection that kind of just like works?
I feel I don't know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But like I feel like on one hand it is not a coincidence that like I am voicing in animal roles. Because it's like firstly just like anthropomorphic characters are just very appealing. Like we could like beat around the bush all day, but like if you're if you find the aesthetic of an anthropomorphic character appealing, like that's technically a furry, and we've been doing furry stuff since the Egypt times. So we've been like, in all technicality, we've been doing like it's just an appealing process to see human-like traits on an animal and vice versa, animal traits in like a human-like character. And I feel like a character like Rambley, it's right away just invokes a sense of like paternal or maternal instincts, however you want to, well, wherever you are on the spectrum. But it's it just I don't know, it's just like it connects with you on an emotional level with like just how I don't just how like how cute he is, but also just like how vulnerable he also is. Like, because I mean, he's an animal, but like at the same time, he's just like a character. So, but as far as like my love for the wilderness goes, and how I incorporate that with my voice acting and just like my any type of entertainment experience ever, I feel like definitely like going out into the wilderness just like helps ground myself a lot. So like I just like really find it really relaxing for the most part, obviously, but also, just as far as like wildlife is concerned, like I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of the wildlife that I have seen over the years, and I'd really like to eventually get into like mocap work because like just I'm very interested in not just the way animals communicate, but in the way they move. Like I feel like the physiology of a lot of animals is like very beneficial for not just like animated shows, but also just like for performances as well. Because like if you're able to like get into that zone, like if you need to like get in the character, just like doing that and just like being in that space. Like if you're doing creature work, I mean, because I haven't done creature stuff yet, but that's like another goal, like being able to voice creature voices and stuff like that. Like I've always found that very interesting. Aside from monster suit acting, I feel like that also lends itself some credence into how wilderness and like studying animals can help that genre and medium, because like a lot of like famously Haruo Nakajima, he would go to this zoo in the 50s and watch the elephants walk around and how the bears would walk, and he would incorporate that whenever he would play Godzilla in the original Showa films. And yeah, I find inspiration a lot from the wilderness, and it gives me a lot of I'd say like empathy and understanding for like a lot of just animal characters or just anything that I'm doing in general, really. Just like it, I don't know, it just helps me connect with my roots, because it's like voice acting and just animated shows in general are part of my roots. Like I've grown up with cartoons all my life, but I've also grown up with animals all my life, both on the screen and in the home. Like just it's close to me, and like it reminds. I feel like they just remind me of who I am.
So then, I think I have two more questions in mind. The first one, getting into another little fun fact about you, but connecting that to Indigo Park. So in Indigo Park, we have so many wonderful iconic characters and such, including Rambley and Mullen McCall. Now connecting that to your not secret, not so secret love of cryptids,
Mm.
is there is there a cryptid that you would like to see as a character in Indigo Park one day? And what cryptid would you choose? Because there's so many.
Um, I mean, the closest one I'd say would be Finley, like a sea serpent. Like that. That seems like a no-brainer for me. But also pretty because like they're not. This is just me. I don't want to spoil anything for the show. Like I'm not telling like what the origin of these creatures are, but I feel like a lot of people have their assumptions about that. But if we're going with like the cryptid angle and like these creatures, like if like in universe, if they may have inspired like cryptid legends over the years that they've been at the park, possibly. I'd say another creature I'm really excited to see would be Scurv, the coyote, like probably like some like the dog man stuff that like the supposed dog man sightings that people have seen over the country. I'm very picky about my cryptids. I'm very like nitpicky. I'm like, oh, maybe this could exist. I'm not sure. But like Nessie, I used to really want Nessie to be real, but like the more and more I've learned about paleontology and like marine reptiles, marine mammals, I'm like the more it's looking like it's not what we think it is. Like it's a plesiosaur. Like it would have to be coming up for air all the time. Like we would see that and stuff. So it's probably just a giant eel. But that's a cryptid in and of itself. A cryptid means it's a hidden animal. That's literally what the term means. So I think like if there was something that I would love to see in it, aside from something that hasn't shown up yet, it would probably be Mothman. I don't know. It's something like I don't know because Mothman is always really interesting because like we're seeing something. Like several people like went back in the I forget when it was, the 50s, 60s, or 70s when that like whole Mothman craze was going on. Like people were seeing something.
Like on the bridge.
Yeah, people were seeing something on the bridge and like in the roads. And, like people like I feel like people always tend to just like go straight for like the skeptic point of view. It's just like, oh, you probably saw an owl, but it's like you gotta give a little bit more credence to people, and I feel like that's something that I would like to see. So yeah.
And then my final question, I ask this to every person who comes on. This is a question from my series, Connect the Pop. Who are two characters of pop culture that you would like to see connected or meet at some point?
Just like a crossover.
You can choose whoever you want.
I really want to see Godzilla fight Gamera. I really want to, and I really like. It's a shame that it hasn't happened because Daiei at the time when they were still, or actually I think it was Kadokawa because like Daiei was defunct at that point. But they reached out to Toho. It was like, hey, let's make a Godzilla versus Gamera movie, and Toho declined. And I'm just like, why would they decline that? That would just be fake. But like both characters, I definitely Godzilla has gotten the more popular end of the stick, but Gamera, he's been making a comeback over the years. Like he's gotten a little bit more popular, and especially with the '90s trilogy, just like it set such a high precedent for modern day kaiju movies in a way that I don't think can ever be topped. And it's like it put Gamera on the map to where he's just now as much beloved as Godzilla or Kong is. I think like people are clamoring for Gamera now, and I feel like sooner or later, I feel like we would like to have that crossover come into play. But was there another one that you like? Just that or?
Oh, that's basically it. I mean, if you want one more, the one thought that came to my mind because you reminded me is if people look at your channel, one thing that a lot of people will notice is that you do have a very strong love for Godzilla. Why is that? What is it about Godzilla that's so special?
It's the same. It's this like I can't really describe it. It's the same with my like my get up. Like the same for like characters like Luna. It's just I'm very attracted to like the "don't f with me" attitude, and they both have a very strong "don't f with me" attitude. Like that's literally like Godzilla's whole character. Like he literally had a bomb dropped on him, and it's like, oh, you F with me now, I'm gonna F with you, and like that's essentially how like the series goes on. Even when he's a good guy, like you don't want to mess with him because he might mess with you back. But I just like obviously like the dinosaur aspect of it, like because like as a kid I didn't know anything about the atomic bomb. I didn't know anything about like the complex historical significance of Godzilla. I just saw him as like a pretty cool monster, just like beat the crap out of everybody, just like being angry. I think is like a big part of why I like Godzilla. Just like the valid reason to be angry. Like you got a bomb dropped on you. I'd be angry. Like I'd be angry. So yeah, just like the vindication of just like I don't know, just destroying everything in sight because of how wronged you were. But like also that he's an animal. Like and like so he doesn't like it would be different if it was like I don't know, like somebody like Thanos who would like probably do the same thing. Like it's just like they have a conscience and everything. And Godzilla, he's like on like a whole other plane of existence. I love the like how Japan they use like three circles for like how they make the kaiju like part god, part human, part animal, and like there's all aspects of like all three of those thrown into one, and it's just like so interesting and like retrospective and just it's also I think now as I got older I realized that like Godzilla was just pretty much just a representation of Mother Nature's wrath. And I just always found that super interesting. That like, yeah, nature can be beautiful, but it can also be pretty scary and pretty terrifying as well. And yeah, I feel like it just like there was a lot of stuff that just I learned about the Earth thanks to Godzilla. Like oh wow, like pollution is really bad. Like or like it taught me a little bit about like the wars that we've had and like where the significance of Godzilla comes into play in that. And I just like love. I also last thing. I absolutely love the fact that Godzilla originally came from a place of fear and a place of trauma and a place of catharsis. Like it was a way for the people of Japan to move on from such a traumatic point in their history. But over time, he became basically their symbol to the point where like he is actually a citizen of Japan. Like and they took pride in the fact that he transcended that role from villain to eventual hero, back to a villain again, to whichever they needed him for. Like he's like Bugs Bunny. He's like one of the most versatile characters you can have in fiction. He could be like whatever you need him to be. He could be like in any setting, just as long as you get the character right. Any setting you can make it just as long as you get like the character to a T. That's all. And just like I love the fact that like he's just so beloved now. Like he's like something born out of so much fear and tragedy has like become a source of happiness for millions of people around the world, and I find that beautiful. I really do. Like it's kind of cheesy, but I just it's something that really connects to me. So
I think it's really funny just because if I recall correctly, 2 years ago when you and I first met, I believe I was met
in a
Godzilla suit.
Yes, I was the talk of the town when I was just in that thing.
Fun.
Oh my god, I need to get that fixed. The battery for it is like super crap, so like I need to get it replaced. Yeah. So,
but that being said, OtterBoy, please tell us where can we find you?
Okay, well you can follow me on Twitter at OtterBoy_VA, but on everything else it's just going to be OtterBoyVA, no underscore. Like you can find me on Instagram. TikTok, I don't post there quite a lot. Instagram, I post from time to time, mostly on my stories. Yeah, also YouTube. Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm also on YouTube. And I have been kind of dropping a ball lately, but once this con is over, I'm gonna like make a commitment to like try to post something on my Twitter every day and like post at least twice a month on my YouTube because I really want to get that going. And also Twitch. I'm going to start streaming regularly more often, almost every day, depending on how busy I am. But I just want to try to get more interactive with more of the people who like my work, and I want to just try to be more involved in the community. So, but yeah, mostly Twitter because that's my baby. That's how I started social media 10 years ago. So, but yeah, you can follow me on there. I don't think there's any other social medias. Blue Sky too, but like that's I feel like that's like self-explanatory. But yeah, OtterBoy VA on there as well. I think I need to get a Spotify, but I don't have a Spotify. Yeah, sorry, sorry guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
Yay!
There we go.